which is the Cornelius days, the days when you were no mercy Morgan. You were a full-time trainer, full-time entrepreneur, kind of doing two jobs in one, if not like also the janitor and the lead child watch and the BA, and, you know, you're all the things. And often how it is in a small business, take yourself back to that time when you're kind of leading one gym, co-leading a company, you know, and you know, now you look back on that time. What about those difficult times really helped you get from that to where we're at today?
Yeah, you know, looking back on those days, I was actually reflecting on this not too long ago on another podcast I was on. I don't even know if I considered myself a leader back then. You know, I was doing what I had to do to lead a gym, lead a community, build and try to scale our franchise business, and also start to have kids. And so I think those are the days that shaped me as who I wanted to be and who I didn't want to be. But I don't think my biggest lessons were even in that phase of our life. It was more in the 2018 to 2022 era, I would say, when I actually stepped out of being in the gym and into building the infrastructure at headquarters, is where I would say most of my lessons were built. But I would say, yeah, Cornelius days were that really shaped me. It shaped who our community was. It shaped what we stood for. I think you and I both learned a lot about who we wanted to be and how we wanted to grow this company in those early days when we were thrown into business ownership and, you know, leading a group of trainers, of child watch members, and then BAs and managing people. Those were all experience I had never had prior to opening my own gym. And so I really had to learn a lot of the core principles of what people management meant. And people management is much different than leadership. Would you agree with that, Devin?
Yeah, I would agree with that 100%. And it sounds like you've kind of made your own definition of what leadership is throughout the years just by trial and error. You know, you can't always read about leadership. You actually have to practice it. I think a good metaphor for that is you can't read about push-ups. You actually have to do them. And you went through those metaphorical push-up reps from the time when you were pregnant with Cameron on a mic, 9 months pregnant, training camp, you know, working 80 hours a week still, all the way till now.